Hello disc golf enthusiasts. I've got a disc golf bag review for you. We've got 3 bags here today, and I know they're out of focus. I'll bring them over to the table and show each one of them to you. First, I wanted to let you know that I just finished recording the best disc golf bag review of all time, but my microphone was muted, so nobody's ever going to hear it, and you guys are now left with this half-baked, half-hearted version 2. That video that I just recorded finished at 50 minutes long. I promise I'll try to keep this one shorter, but that seriously is about how much information I have to say about the differences specifically between the Pound Octothorpe, which you see sitting in front of you, and the Grip AX15 right here. I do also have a Grip CS. The newest bag of these 3 is that Octothorpe. My voice is now trash from talking so long, sorry. I've had that Octothorpe for, I don't know, it's made it through I think 4 tournament rounds and too many casual rounds to count. It's had a fair bit of abuse. This Grip AX3, this is the oldest one. This thing is seriously used and abused, and it's held up great. It really shows very little signs of wear. The Grip CS here is just a little bit older than the Pound bag. So I've brought it out to compare like the padding and the straps and whatnot, because they're closer in age and use, and that's right where I'm going to start, is the padding on the backpack straps. This Octothorpe has some very serious padding. That is super thick. I've measured it. I brought my calipers out, and it comes in at 19 millimeters. It's about this one's about the same, left side and right side. I realized, I've known, made a conscious effort over time to pick my bags up with my left arm, because I'm a right-handed thrower, and it saves energy. If I'm trying to reserve the energy in my elbow, my right arm, then I'm going to be picking this weight up with the left almost all of the time. Don't judge me too harsh. I actually do a little bit to balance that out. It might sound silly. I carry a tool bag for work, and I consciously swap that back and forth so that both arms get about the same amount of wear there. But the reason that's important is the left side backpack strap gets destroyed on my bags, because I'm always, I'm crunching it there when I'm lifting the bag. If I'm doing a single-handed lift, if I'm doing a double-handed lift, then I'm pulling with the right hand in the hollow loop and this, so I can more easily swing it onto my left shoulder. But that's where the bag goes, left hand pickup, left shoulder. And I don't even bother to put my right arm in unless I'm going to be standing for a long time or doing a longer walk. It goes in, but not all the time, for sure. So when I took that into account when I did the measurements. Anyways, this hasn't shown compression yet from use, and I measured it at 19, which is just ridiculous. The other thing to note is the amount of stitching on this Pound bag. There's just 2 points, one down here and one up here, where they put that stitching in. And that's important for 2 reasons. One is it gives you a much larger range for sliding that sternum strap, which I've rarely used, but whatever. If you want to move it more, if you want more versatility there, then you get it with the Pound bag. That stitching does go all the way through, as you can see. Now, that does affect the padding right there. It's still, you can see it's still pretty fat padding, next to the stitching, but it affects it nonetheless. So it's more fair to compare padding on the CS again, right? Because this is my newest grip bag, and CS came in at 13 millimeters at the smallest. So this one has shown significant wear on the left strap, and that's where I'm getting my 13 millimeter width. If I come over to the right shoulder, which you can probably see is not quite as kinked up, and the padding has stayed a little bit puffier. We're up to 16 millimeters on that. So at best, it's 3 millimeters less than the Octothorpe, and at worst, it's 6. You can see why I pointed out those stitch marks on the Octothorpe, though. Look at the grip; they're everywhere. There's one under here, and you still can move this sternum strap more, but you actually have to unbuckle it and then slide it back in at a new spot. And it can't come up this high because those are stitched down, but you would never want it up there anyways. It's going to be, it's going to come in on one of these. So it's a little bit more of a hassle to move it far, but you still can. That stitching on the bottom, though, has really removed how much padding you have across. So if you're wearing that bag and one of those stitch spots is like sitting on your collarbone or right at the very top of your shoulder, two of the points that take the most pressure, you're not going to feel much padding there. The Pound bag wins on the quality of the padding in the strap. They say that Pound bag is pre-compressed, so maybe it won't compress as much over time as I've just shown you the Grip does. If or look at this. This is even worse. This is the bag I've really beat up, and there's like nothing left over here. We're down to 11 millimeters on this thing, which is basically nothing. It's just the fabric. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much all that's left. So that really wears on you, especially because this is the heavier bag. I feel that a lot, and there's nothing I can do about that other than buy a new bag. So worst case scenario, if over time this Pound bag gets the padding super compressed, which I don't think it will. It doesn't look like it will. These straps are removable. Look at this. Snap, snap. That's off. You would have to thread this webbing back through, which I'm not going to do for you. But the backpack strap is removable, so I can get new straps for this. Even if I really squish them over the course of a few seasons, which is possible, then I don't have to buy a new bag. I could just get new straps. I think that's great. That's such a good idea. The next point I wanted to talk about on these is the weight of these bags. When I got the Octothorpe in, the first thing that I did was took all 3 of these bags and emptied them and weighed them. The Octothorpe came in at 1.84 kilograms. The AX3 was 1.75, and the CS was 1.6. Not a whole lot of difference. I mean, I knew the Pound bag was going to be the heaviest. This thing's a behemoth. I could, you fit a ridiculous amount of discs in there. But the fact that it's only half a disc weight heavier than the Grip AX3 and about a disc and a half heavier than the Grip CS is super impressive. But it's still not that much. If you're throwing around, an extra bottle of water or a jacket or whatever, that's way more weight than the difference between these bags. So I think they've done well to keep it that light. They've done even better to make it carry the weight well. And that's what really got me thinking about buying this bag. you know, I carried the big grip forever, and then started having some back problems, and that made it difficult for me to play multiple rounds without becoming super fatigued. You know, when my back starts to hurt, lower back, upper back, whatever, I can't throw as accurately. So I switched from the AX3 originally to a C, and then eventually to the CS, and it helped. It helped so much to carry that much less weight. But then I got to thinking, I've, you know, carried a lot of crash pads from climbing and backpacks and whatnot, and realized the difference between really quality suspension setups and straps. And that's what people were talking about on this Pound bag, is how well it holds the weight. So I had to find out. And it does. It holds weight so well. One part of that is the backpack straps. The other part is how soft the bag is. And I'm going to show you the grip first. What really kills these grips for me, and I didn't realize it at first, not until I could, you know, compare them directly to carrying around the Pound bag, is this piece right here. We've got this super sharp, super rigid frame that rides right on my lower back, and it hits people differently depending on, you know, how long they've set up their backpack straps. But for me, you know, that's right here, and between the squished foam and the backpack straps, the second spot that carries weight is that. Like these grip bags have some massive, impressive looking padding on the back. Look at that. Look how thick that foam is, and this piece down here. That makes the bag look super comfortable. But when I put this thing on, what do I feel this right here, you know, that padding just doesn't keep it far enough off of my back. This kind of gets swallowed by my middle back, and it should be carried higher. You know, I could sag the hell out of this thing and, you know, maybe get this part on my butt, but that's even a worse way to carry the weight. So I end up feeling that super rigid frame. Like if you've ever seen somebody put their bag on, their grip bag, and need to like jog halfway across the course to catch up with their friends, you know what you're going to see them do? Put one hand here and push the bag off of their back while they go, you know, jogging along, to keep that super rigid bottom from smacking them. It's just not a great way to carry weight. Whoops. Sorry, Dola. My dog's underfoot. This is where the grip really wins. It's super. I'm pushing on discs when I do that. If I push discs out of the way, this is just completely soft bottom bag. There's no frame down here. There is a piece of plastic in the back to give us some rigidity, but it's not linked in with a horizontal plate that gives you that hard ridge. So when I put this bag on, it just gives me a hug. That's what it feels like. It just wraps around my lower back and gives much larger contact area, and thus much better weight distribution. It's so comfortable, it's ridiculous. It makes the weight thing almost not even worth mentioning. I mean, it's technical details, so whatever. Yeah, you want to know how much it weighs, I told you. But it's how well it carries the weight. That's what makes this bag so impressive to me. And I don't have all positive things to say about this bag, I'll tell you that right now. There are a couple things I'm really kind of frustrated about that I'll let you know. But before we get there, I want to finish talking about that hard bottom on the bag, because it's not all bad on the grip. The positives that you get out of that are stability. This old beat up bag is still just square as can be. Look at that. It's not sitting all whopper jawed. It's not ready to fall over. It still looks quite nice. If I pull my zippers up, I guess. it looks so good because of all that rigidity. That's also allowed them to bolt on these plastic runners down here. That is going to protect your fabric without a doubt. You know, even though I beat the snot out of this bag, this middle section of fabric down here still looks really good. It's not like, you know, pulling apart in any way. It's not getting fuzzy from abrasion wear, nothing, because these runners have taken the abuse. It also helps keep it a little bit drier down here by holding it off the ground a little bit. You know, if you're sitting down on rocks where there's almost a puddle or something, the bottom of the pound's going to get soaked unless you have the rain fly on. This, you have a chance, at least, that those runners are going to keep you just, you know, slightly off the ground. So that's nice. When I set this bag down, I know what it's going to do. It wants to fall forward slightly. And I don't mean on flat ground that's going to cause me any issues. But when I start getting on hilly terrain, it's very consistent. It just wants to go forward. That's the direction. So I know, you know, if I'm getting on a steep hill that I need to set this thing down, there's some terrain that I can get it sideways like this. And if it gets steep enough, I just have to lay it on its face, and the bag is going to be held securely. If I get on some, you know, crazy log stacked, you know, beaver dam type of terrain, you can't really just set this bag straight down. Because it's gonna teeter on whatever, you know, stacked up logs you're setting it on. So you almost look for, you know, like a triangle hole or something like that, and you just poke the rigid corner of the bag in there, and then it's nice and stable. That compared to the pound bag with that softer frame, you know, this thing is real easy to sit whopper jawed. And that was honestly a negative for me. It's a little bit of an image problem maybe for this bag. When I've seen older pound bags around, you know, they just kind of look droopy and soft. And I thought that was a quality issue, that they just weren't made as well. But it's an effect of that soft back. You know, they're going for, you know, wanting to be able to carry the weight well. That's a priority. And so it needed to be soft because of that. An effect of it is, you know, that the whole bag maybe gets a little more slinky over time. I don't mind that. The comfort is really the priority for me. But that's the difference. Now, this thing being so soft makes it less reliable. I don't quite know what this bag is going to do. When I'm setting it down on different angles, I don't know which way this sucker's going to tip, because it's so soft, the weight just shifts depending on how much weight I have in there, really. You know, it is a little easier to just drop it on a stack of sticks because the bottom's so soft. It's just going to, you know, kind of form to whatever I'm setting it on. So, I don't know. It's a little bit different in what you can expect the bag to do when you set it down. The next thing on my list is the haul loop. I really like the haul loop on this Octothorpe. It pokes up. It sits super tall. The way that it's sewn, it just wants to stay up there. It sits higher. I don't have to bend over as far to pick the bag up if I'm going to grab it that way. And it is not sewn with the backpack straps. So it's a separate stress point when I just grab that. If I have, you know, like a super insulated winter glove or whatever, no problem. It's going to fit inside that giant haul strap on the Octothorpe. The grip, not so much. There's not as much room in there. It is a part of the backpack straps. It's sewn in with them. So you're stressing the exact same wear point when you try to pick it up that way. Granted, this is so beefy. I don't think anyone is ever going to manage to tear the straps on a grip bag. Now, I've seen a lot of grip bags out there. They're super popular. I've never seen one have an issue there. Somebody might have somehow figured out how to damage theirs, but I don't think the wear is really a problem. It sits a lot lower, so you do have to reach down further to pick this bag up than you do the Octothorpe. There's just not quite as much room to get your fingers in there. So now I'm gonna pick on the pound bag now. The biggest complaint that I have with that Pound bag is pencil pocket. And I'll show you what's good about the Grip first. Look at this. Where am I going to put a pencil? I got a spot there. That's sweet. That's easy access. I could stack 2 there even if I wanted. There's one on this side as well. Nothing else is going to rub against that. It's a great spot for them. This bag also has room for 2 right here and 2 right here. Both sides I can double stack. So there's potentially 8 down my drink holders and then 2 up on top. That's about enough. That's about how many pencil pockets I want. I like to carry a lot of pencils. I like to hand them out to people. I don't want to have to worry about losing, the 1 or 2 that I've brought. I've got so many backups. The CS bag also has a couple sewn right in here. I don't like those quite so much. I like the ones that are up here better. Your disc kind of rubs against these. When you're pulling discs in and out, those pencils will work out. I've lost pencils that way on this bag. For whatever reason, they decided on this bag you need 1 pencil pocket. And no, it's not going to be accessible. It's going to be behind this zipper. Granted, I leave these unzipped. That's about how they run. But that's it, right there. You could fit 2. You could maybe squish 3 in there. That's your pencil pocket. There's no other. That's so frustrating to me. Especially because it would just be so sweet to have a couple right here. That's a great spot for them. On that side, I don't care. Give me some pencil pockets. I've actually been running them next to my Mini and then losing them. That's not a great spot for me to put them, so I got to stop doing that. But there's so many other places they can get sewn in. Look at this. How about right there? That's where I want a pencil pocket. I want 1 on each side. 1, 2 there. I want 1, 2 on each side of my Mini. You can maybe put some down here. That might be going overkill. I don't know if people really like that many pencil pockets. I do. But it bugs me so much that I literally Googled pencil pocket the other day. And what I found was some little thing made to go clip on like a suspender strap. It's got like two pencil pockets in it. I almost ordered it. I'm going to find something like that. I seriously am going to have to add pencil pockets to this bag. I don't know quite how it's going to work, but it's just not acceptable to me to only have 1 and to have to like rub my fingers past the zipper to grab it. No thanks. That bugs the hell out of me. They got the longer pocket sewn in here for, you could get a couple Sharpies in there if you wanted. Grip wins. Grip wins the pencil pocket game. Pound's got to step it up. The next spot that Grip wins is a valuables pocket. I never knew how much I liked this thing until I bought a Pound bag. This pocket is just done really well. The way that Grip's done this, it's partly with the putter pocket, right? This putter pocket is straight up and down. They go, there's no cantered angle to these discs, and I've worn the hell out. I've stretched this out so I could fit 5 discs in there or something now if I wanted. But most people own a Grip would probably stretch that out. It still doesn't much affect this valuables pocket. Because the discs are going straight up and down, it leaves this whole front section of the bag for that valuables pocket to go in. On the back piece of fabric here, they've sewn in. That's the stitching to separate it. They've sewn in two pockets on that back wall. Those are pretty nice for a cell phone. I really like how it just barely, my cell phone barely sticks out of there. I can tuck it under, I can zip it, whatever. That's a pretty secure spot for my cell phone to go. My keys, my wallet, dog poop bags go in the other one. I have my most important stuff under one zipper and divided, so that something's not scratching my phone. They do have, I'll show you, yeah, the key clip. I never use that. I got a zipper. I can zip it closed if I'm worried about, if I'm doing something crazy, right? And then that's still, I haven't even taken up the main section in this pouch. There's so much stuff that can fit in there. Another set of dog poop bags. I've got super glue. I've got hand warmers. I've got suntan lotion. A lighter. Scorecards. Whatever, and it's still not full. I've put all that stuff in there. It's in a good spot that I can access. Still all under one zipper. Sweet. They do have, a couple extra pockets over here. Scorecards, hand warmers. On the CS, I put my extra Velcro powder, whatever it's called. I've got some extra little Velcro badges and stuff I put on there. They live in the side when they're not riding out front. It's just done super well. So we'll compare that with. Oh wait, okay, hold on. Before I put this bag away to pull the Pound back out, the last thing about that is the putter pocket, and it's adjustable. It's adjustable height. You guys probably already know this because there's grip bags everywhere, so they're not hard to get a hold of. But they've got this little adjustment thing down here. I can pinch that and pull that up. What's that's done is that's pulled the putter pocket up so that my putters poke out now. I usually ride a towel under them anyways, and that's too high for me. But you've got the option. If you want them more easily accessible for the quick grab, then you can ride that thing super high. That's all the way back down right there. Plus my towel. If I pull my towel, then they're undercover. If I want to protect them from rain, I'm usually, if it's a little bit of rain, I'm usually just taking my towel and tucking so that water droplets aren't hitting them directly if it's a little drizzle. If it's much more, you got to pull your umbrella, pull your rain fly. You don't have other protection on this bag. Not that's great, at least. What you're going to have to do is pull this flap out and yank your double zipper across. That's not something you want to do every hole. So you pretty much are going to run either the towel draped over, or it's time to bust your rain fly or umbrella out. So we'll bring the Pound up. No valuables pocket. It's not there. They've angled these putters, so on the grip they go straight down right here. On the Pound bag they sit on this angle, and I'm always, a towel just lives in my putter pocket, whatever bag I'm using. So that's how they sit for me. I can jam like ridiculous amount of discs up here in this putter pocket. Even it's a newer bag. I haven't stretched this thing out. That's two putters. That's a mid, 2 mids, 3 mids, 4 mids. That's 6 discs, and it's starting to stretch. That's the point where it's uncomfortable for me to pull. That means I've got 5 comfortably up there. That's pretty crazy. I don't know. Because they're sitting on that angle, they're taking up the space up here where that valuables pocket sits on the grip. And aesthetically it's pleasing. I think it looks really nice. The front of this bag looks great with that little mini spot there and the putter sitting on an angle. Super cool. I think really the reason that they decided to put the putters on that angle is because they wanted a hydration pouch and they want access to it. So there's all kinds of stuff going on back here. The first little thing is this short, shallow pocket. You could use it for storage. You could probably jam a towel in there. It's really to tuck this flap inside of, and then they've even got that little snap, so you can snap that thing in there, so that when you're dragging putters out, it's not ejecting that hood. That's not been a problem for me. I just usually just leave it out and let it ride. The next thing we see is a zipper. That zip opens a pocket that it tapers a little bit at the bottom, and it goes down maybe 12 inches, 10 inches, something like that. I don't know. I've jammed a towel in there. Backup towel. It's pretty nice. I think maybe a short water bladder. I'm not a water bladder guy. I can't tell you. Maybe that's what it's for, is to ride a short water bladder in. Under that is the neck zipper that you just seen me pull. And with that zipper, we're seeing the white plastic hard backing. That pocket goes to the bottom of the bag. If you were doing a big water bladder, that's the one you'd run. I'm sure some people love that. If you're if you like a water bladder, then you're gonna be super psyched that that's there. For me, I'm never gonna use a water bladder. The best I got is one extra towel storage, and I lost like the sweetest way to carry all my valuables. So I'm left with what I'm gonna do with all those valuables, and the answer is they're gonna get split up. I think the intended spot for you to carry a phone is right here, and that's fine. That's not too bad. There's room for other stuff in that pocket, but you don't want to scratch your phone screen, so you're probably not going to put anything else in there. That means car keys and wallet are going to go into this pocket right here, or the same one on the other side. They're identical. That is also fine. I've played with putting my phone in here. It sticks out a little bit too much for me. There's a little too big of a chance that I'm going to trip over a stick and my phone's going to go flying, and I'm not going to realize it ejected out of my bag until too late. I don't want to have to fight that and flip it over the top of my phone, at which points I can zip it closed. I don't want to have to fight my phone horizontally and corner it in. That pocket is much wider on the bottom than it is on the top. So there's a fair bit of room in there, but you really got to pull this zipper over to be able to potentially, edge your phone in there like that. So to be honest with you, my phone has been riding right there, and it's pretty secure. I've not lost it. It's a spot that I look every hole. I'm constantly in there grabbing my putter, so I'm going to notice if it goes missing. And the rest of my stuff's getting split up. I've got, dog poop bags, phone, keys. I don't know. I feel like I'm always searching for my stuff. If I want to find my car keys, I'm looking 2 or 3 spots before I figure out where they were. And I've tried to combat that a little bit by running this. This is a little husky tool pouch thing. It's allowed me to... That's the spot for, super glue, sunblock, gum, more dog poop bags, a lighter, whatever. And it's, it's kind of in a spot I know where it's at. I don't want to have that much junk in both these higher side pockets that I constantly have to dig through. So this is helping me out a little bit. So the bottom line is, everything that I had in one nice pocket on the Grip is now in 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 different places that I have to look. I don't know. It is what it is. I'll probably get used to it. I'll probably, find a little bit better home for things, and I won't have to search quite as much. But it's really made me appreciate how nice that valuables pocket is on the Grip bag. While I've got this open, I'll show you our umbrella holder. It's elastic on top. I really like this. This is done super well. It runs all the way to the bottom of the bag. So that means that 2 feet up, I have a top secure point on the umbrella. And that's far superior to what you get on the Grip. The best I figured out when I'm running an umbrella on the Grip is to put it through here and either jam it in my cup holder or jam it in this pouch. That means I'm about 10 inches before my upper secure point. So the wind has so much more leverage on my umbrella. And you know, if I'm unzipping this and I've got stuff jacked in there, then my umbrella can go out on crazy angles. It's just not. It's not secured super well. And even when I take the umbrella down and like stick it in there in reverse, it's still just like frustratingly wobbling all over the place. And the grip bag holds that umbrella super tight, tightly in place. It's done well. Let's go for extra disc storage. You can see I'm running 3 mids over here right now, and I've been doing that for a while. It fits really well. You actually, like this larger pocket is also disc width. Like if for whatever reason you felt like you needed to, you could even fit discs in there. That is home for a jacket for me, or 2, or sometimes even 3 layers, right? Depending on what time of year you're playing and what elevation. One thing I've noticed is, like currently, that's, you know, easy peasy. Those things will come out so smooth. As soon as I jam a jacket in here, it's pushing out on this pocket. And this goes for the other side where I've got drinks in. As soon as there's a little bit of pressure on these, it's a pain to get these in and out. Especially if it's the disc on the edge here that you're working. You're really fighting against those zippers. I don't like pushing on zippers that hard. So you have to balance. It's not unlimited space. That's partly another reason I like this, is because it hangs at a higher height. It's not messing with my space down here. If I'm jamming a jacket in, one of these discs comes out and goes somewhere else in the bag. It's going up to my putter pocket. It's getting added in here, because I don't like to run super stacked on this anyways. On any bag, I like to be able to comfortably slide my fingers between a disc to pull it out. The other thing this bag has is maybe better stool carrying potential. I've lost my stool, so since I've had this bag, I haven't used it. But I could, you know, sometimes you use the stool for half a round, and then the pace of the tournament picks up, and you know you're tired of carrying that thing, and don't really care to sit on it. You can slide it right in these bungees. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they designed them for. I think that's a great place to carry the stool. You're kind of out of luck on the Grip. If you want to carry a stool, you're fighting the same thing as with the umbrella. The best I'd figured out was jam all 3 legs through here, and then jam 1 leg of the stool down in here, and then cinch it closed, and yeah, it'll stay there. It's just not very fancy. It flops all over the place. What else have I missed? I think that's about it. I've said about all that I have to say on these 2 bags. Oh, one other thing I was going to mention. We talked about bonus disc storage, and you have so much on the Pound bag. I haven't maxed it out. I have no idea how many discs I could fit in there, and you probably shouldn't try either, because nobody needs to carry that many discs. The better scenario to worry about is, what are you going to do when you pull discs out? I was running this bag and was getting pretty tired. Round 2, I went and pulled, I don't remember how many discs. I pulled quite a few discs out of it. I'm going to pull 4 out of it right now. And one of the benefits to the soft bag is that it handles those. It kind of, still just sags with however many discs I have in there, and it just carries them pretty comfortably. Compared with the Grip, with that hard plastic bottom, when I pull discs out of there, they just want to slide and slap back and forth. I feel like whenever I, for whatever reason, would want to run this bag lighter, which I eventually just bought the CS bag for it, but I need to take a towel and jam it in here. It just bugged me too much. When I'm walking and my discs are slapping back and forth, I can't handle it. It's like the kids who walk around with their keys clipped to them, just jangling, smacking around. Like, not everybody needs to hear you coming, you know? So even though the Pound carries a heavier load better than the Grip, because of how comfortable it is, it also wraps around a smaller load. So to some degree, I had to buy 2 Grip bags. I didn't have to. I wanted to buy 2 Grip bags so that I could run a heavy load of discs and a light load of discs as comfortably as possible. And now I feel like I've got the Pound bag and I can do both. And even on the heavier load, it feels like I'm carrying that lighter Grip bag. I didn't hit home on the beverage holders, I guess. This is so well done. I mean, it's simple. It's insulated. It is cut low enough that a 12-ounce can in a koozie is not hard to pull back out. It's really easy to drop a 12-ounce can with the koozie in there. Now, a lot of times, that 12-ounce can in a koozie is sitting right here. You know, I'm setting my bag down, picking up my drive, getting ready to putt. Well, you know, my beverage is just going to sit right there. Or on the ground. I may not put it all the way down in here. I really don't know what's going on with this insulated sleeve insert, whatever they call this thing. I don't get it. I thought it looked super cool when I saw it on their website. I was like, oh, I'm gonna order another one, put it on the other side. It's too tall. It's, you know, a 12-ounce can is going to get buried in there. You're really going to have to fish for it and pinch it with your fingers to extract that thing. And this Velcro divider, the Velcro wants to bite at the edges of your koozie and start fuzzing your top of your koozies out. Not the end of the world, but still not ideal. And I've seen one dude jam this in here. And it fits. It does. It goes all the way to the bottom. But I don't get that. I don't understand. You know, I don't want my beverages all the way down in there. Unless they're totally secondary. And if they are, then they don't need to be in an insert like this. I can fit more in without the insert. Whether it's this side pocket or inside. You know, I can triple stack instead of double stack without that insert in there. And when I do put it in this pocket, it pokes out. That's kind of ugly, if you ask me. It's poking up past the zipper. It's getting wrinkled because it's kind of getting crushed in there. I don't know. My 12-ounce beverage lives like right here. With that zipper up partly, and especially if I have a jacket in there, which I have for most of the recent rounds I've played. That eats a 12-ounce can really well, and it just sits there. It's popped up high, kind of like putting it in the putter pocket in the Grip bag. It's just a little bit better home for it. I don't know. Maybe I'll come around on this thing. I think I'm more likely to just pull it out and never use it again. I'm definitely not ordering another one. It seems like an afterthought. I mean, I know they made it. They made it specifically for this bag, right? Surely they didn't just tack their logo on something else. But if they made it for this bag, why doesn't it fit better? It should be just below the zipper. It would look nicer. It would be a little bit easier to get a 12 ounces out of it. I don't know. Those are my nitpicks. I still like the Pound. I don't regret buying it at all. Even with the things that I just kind of trashed it over, the pencil pocket, the valuable storage being split up. the weird beverage thing, it still is just so comfortable. I don't think I'll go back. I've been talking to a couple people about selling this big grip bag too. I'm going to keep my small one for a little bit longer, but I just don't ever see needing this bag again. I haven't sold it yet just because I wanted to keep it around for this, to do the review video about it. But I don't know, if comfort or relief on your back is important to you, then that's the best justification that you could come up with for buying this Pound bag. If you're really just looking at more quality of materials and durability, it's a tie, man. These all three of the bags I've got here are just built so well. You're really gonna have a problem wearing through any of this fabric. You know, I guess the straps are maybe one consideration. Pound is winning with the removable straps for sure. You know, foam is going to compress over time, at least to some degree. Hopefully this foam is better than what's in the grips, but, you know, it still probably isn't going to last 10 years, you know. So being able to buy new backpack straps is something. But, you know, you could almost buy 2 grip bags for what you can buy a Pound bag for, right? I don't know the prices exactly. I don't remember. But at least the smaller grip, that's probably fair. I think that's fair to say. Well, that may be more than you ever wanted to know about disc golf bags. But if you're considering the purchase, then I hope you found this video useful. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.